And we are live, 5 a.m. Good morning to you all. The 5 a.m. performance show, where in a time in our lives when we decide we do need to get up, we have something that is taking our time, attention, that needs our full focus. We need to have our energy at a high level, ready to go. And it seems that through a lot of trial and error for entrepreneurship, just self-employed individuals where we're responsible for getting up, for, say, if you're a real estate agent, managing broker in the real estate profession, that's a lot of people who I work with. We're gaining this time, this window to essentially really understand what it is that we want, what it is, why we do what we do, and what do we need to do. If we can follow something along these lines, and if you can join me to either jot down later, jot down right now in your journal, have a reason to get up and out of your bed. If you're trying to ride, we're trying to roll here. So you've come to the right place to go through exercises that are going to, again, give that clarity and self-awareness. And if you need accountability, if you need some type of partnership, but I'm telling you, just try for a month, getting up earlier, making sure you yourself are ready to go, rock and roll, so you can actually show up and be the person that you want to be. It's easy to think like when the accountability and the purpose, when all of this stuff doesn't add up, it's a funny surprise when we're extra tired, when that snarky remark someone says, it gets to us a little bit more. When we have the time to prepare ourselves, better know ourselves, then we can better handle ourselves when it comes to interactions, being the best business owner, entrepreneur, real estate agent, real estate investor that we could be, and then leaving it there. So we're not getting caught in between. Sounds kind of like how your doctor would talk to you, and I am not a doctor by any means. I love to read and I love to get an opinion from a doctor, from some type of expert in a field, because today we're talking about checking your vitals. And I'm very blessed I get to check the vitals of something that I think is just as crucial to your life as many of the other things. Because there's, I've heard this many times before, and even it's funny hearing my mom say it. There's a difference between living and being alive. So this is for the living, the thriving, the vitals for the fun part about stuff. Let's go ahead and put in the chat. So vitals essentially is an acronym for, let's go ahead, make it easier, put in the chat. Vitals represent values, which we've talked a little bit on the show, but I'm going to go through on the whiteboard and do some examples for myself, to your interests. Like, what do you actually enjoy doing? Give a quick little story before. No, we'll save interest, our story on interest. There's a guy with a vineyard. It's really expensive, but he has a good business to support it, etc. Temperament. Activities, life goals, and strengths. Let's go ahead and start jumping into these. First, we're going to talk about values. So values, your values, these are kind of the standards that you set, the things that you truly represent you yourself most. And we can just go through a couple of my top values. And then the question you want to be asking with this, are you in alignment with your values? So let's go. Values. Values. Think one of my top values is adventure and impact. Values and impact. Adventure is the side. And again, I guess the best question for it right behind it would be, are you in alignment? Are you in alignment with your values? Because if you're not, I'm willing to guess you probably don't feel very good about what is going on. This is a lot of where anxiety, negative emotion, sleep deprivation, everything, when life isn't driving and thriving with the things we care about most. That makes sense, doesn't it? So one of my values is adventure. And I live in a small town and sometimes work too much, get cooped up, and my girlfriend and I, family and such, don't get to do as many fun things. I really prefer to go to national parks. My brother takes me on a bunch of crazy fucking trips and all this and that. However, when I'm not out there seeking that, or I don't have a goal coming up, such as in a month I'm going to Canada, so have something to look forward to, I feel a lot more sad. I feel a lot less driven. I hope you get what I'm putting down. So when we are not in alignment, when I'm not on here talking such as for impact, when I'm not talking about the things that it is that I'm passionate about, just trying to deliver something like V.I.T.A.L.S for you guys, trying to make an impact, trying to get people up just 10 minutes earlier. If you're just now joining us and you're needing a reason to get out of bed and let's check our vitals. Still on impact. If we can make that impact and I can get myself up, like getting up at 4 a.m. totally blows. Of course it does. However, when I have something to look forward to and to know that somebody is listening, somebody's going to rewatch this later, I'm going to be able to show my kids this crazy shit 10, 20 years from now. And the impact makes the difference, makes the time of the day of the week, the time of it not matter so much. And when I feel in alignment with that, I'm excited to show up and do the next thing. So asking yourself, are you in alignment? For our V and vitals. Values. Next, we have interests. So when it comes to interests, it can be interesting because these really can help you if you're having a hard time picking what are my top values. Is it love, growth, community, persistence, whatever your top values are. Sometimes just going through your interests can help narrow it down, such as we talked about national parks, going on hikes, rock climbing, doing a lot of the outdoor stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, a value of adventure probably makes sense. So ask yourself, is there something I'm interested in doing that I haven't done in forever, that I haven't gotten my creativity out? If you like doing acrylic painting or something like that, that is beautiful to just sit back, to get a paint on a paintbrush, something that's good for stimulating your focus, helping create connections with with creativity. A lot of those side finger painting tasks we used to do as kids are actually very, very helpful for calming, clearing our thinking. So ask yourself, what are some of your interests? And I'm a nerd and I'm a coach, so I'm trying to. I love reading. Blessed, I think I get most of it from my mom. She reads all the time, thankfully. But the reading part, absolutely love it. Extra cooking. There's something I genuinely believe the nicest thing you can do for someone is cook them a very, very nice meal. It tastes delicious and is also healthy. That's kind of the little thing that I've been chasing more of lately. And my girlfriend loves to cook more as well. Last night we had these turkey burgers and did lettuce wraps, onions, avocados, tomatoes, and then had a side of red potatoes. And just experimenting, having fun with, my mouth was literally watering because I don't eat before this thing, talking about it. But just having lettuce instead of the bread, if you're going to have potatoes on the side with it, try and have a better balance in diet. So chasing that metric, but also trying to make it taste really good. Turns out if you put applesauce in a turkey burger and mix it up and stuff, and onions and Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, it's actually really, really good. So cooking, my interests. So say just getting down your interests. What are you interested in? And ask yourself, okay, I'm very interested in this. I want to learn more about this. I want to dive into this, but I haven't been doing it. And I also haven't been feeling very good lately. So it's just kind of a nice little touch and test to remind yourself, are these amazing, beautiful hobbies or side interests that you could jump into that you've been taking a break on? Maybe today's the day. Maybe getting up at 5 a.m. is the difference of you trying it or going back to sleep. Is one of your interests sleeping? You're a professional nap taker? Or would you rather read another book about history that can teach you about temperament, what we're going into next? Or it can teach you how to cook something very healthy to help you lose some weight. If it comes to weight, it comes from the kitchen. Movement's good, but what you eat is better. That's my opinion, not a nutritionist. So, values, interests, temperament. So temperament, I think the easiest way to kind of follow this is understanding whether we are you've heard the phrase, are you reactive or are you proactive with your life? And when you are in a proactive state, when you've decided what it is that you ultimately want to do, where you want to do it, how you want to go about it, all this and that, and you decide how do you want to show up. That's a good question. Get it down. Let's get some of these in the chat too. I need to be posting more. Temperament. I spelled temperament wrong. Oh my gosh. Temperament. How do you want to show up today? Temperament. With an A, not an E, Tanner. Jeez. Okay. How do you want to show up? How do you want to show up? Because your temperament matters for not only yourself, but for the people you're actually trying to inspire. Maybe your parents, maybe your siblings, maybe your best friends, maybe your coworkers. How you react and how you act has a huge impact. If we do want to make a true change, if I show up with energy, if I get the hell on here at 5 a.m. and I get your ass up just 10 minutes earlier and show up, then, and when I come in, I'm listening, I'm smiled, you say something, you're having a bad day, and it doesn't come over me. This is more so my understanding of temperament and how I can, if I get up at a good time and I go through my coaching, I go through my exercises, I'm able to so much better handle the chaos that we call what we have going on right now. Because life is either really easy or it is really hard, but it definitely depends on how you show up. Temperament. V.I.T.A.L.S. Where are we at? Activities. Activities. This can be as the more specific, usually the better. When I take my clients through some of these types of exercises, I like to get very specific activities that are tied to more of a specific goal. Again, the more specific we can be, the more result-based we can be, then we can better understand the actions, the activities that need to happen in order to make this work. So, activities. What are some activities? So I'm part of this organization I'm going to plug right now. So I'm part of this organization. It's called V.I.T.A.L.S Chicago. And well, V.I.T.A.L.S is international networking company where you essentially meet every week. And you essentially meet every week, go through your business pitch, you meet a bunch of other business owners, and then you kind of just are putting yourselves out there. And if we want to be in alignment with impact, I was reading that networking and putting yourself out there is really good. So what I do, I signed up for BNI. And going through that, we have weekly meetings and stuff like that. If anyone would ever want to go or be a guest, you could be my guest, up to you. I'll leave it out there for you. But either way, if you want to come in and have some fun, pitching a business idea, networking with more people in different ways than, say, like an activity like cold calling, then it could be a good alternative. But activities that need to be done that are going to help you push you closer to what it is that you really want to be doing. So, number 5, life goals. We're running out of room. Drop it low. Life goals. My number 1 goal is to Chalk got a little tiny there on the end of me. Life goals. Number 1 for me personally is to impact 100 million people. We're going to do this show until enough people can see it and enough people try getting up earlier in the morning. They go through these types of exercises to give themselves clarity and awareness. If you want better focus, if you don't want to be distracted by your phone as much, if you want to be present completely for your family, if you're tired and you need more energy to sustain that focus, to show up the way you need to be showing up for the people you care about and in your life, then you can go over to talktotanner.com. I always offer a free consultation to really more so, it's kind of a test to getting that understanding where the focus is lacking and getting specific on what do we need to do together to make sure you have the energy. Again, you can always go sign up for a free consultation over at talktotanner.com. Plug over. Life goal, 100 million people. This makes me excited. And someone would say, oh, Tanner, small town kid, yeah, you can't talk to 100 million people in your lifetime. Well, if they're not laughing at your goal, it's probably not big enough. And who knows how close you can get. If I get one of these cheesy videos to blow up and get a couple million people to watch it, we're already chipping away at it. And we got a long time coming. And if you haven't seen one of my speeches, I would love to come into your company, do a talk more maybe along these lines or something, just more outlets, more ways that excite me, that can help us give back and stay in alignment with impact, adventure, knowing how do we want to show up and bringing it all together to make us just happier, healthy people. Like, life is supposed to be fun, damn it. And we're just sitting here making ourselves miserable. We're like, I don't know why why me? It's like, if you live in 2022 in America, so far down the timeline, the chance of your sperm catching as an egg just to be here to enjoy it. Like, I'm talking directly into an iPhone, and yeah, it blows my mind. But either way, to our life goals, it's, if you don't have one specific one down, I would highly encourage brain dumping, writing out what it is. If you were to die, what do you want to get done? And lastly, to wrap up, we have strengths. Strengths. So this is fun. You get to go through and write out some of your strengths and ask yourself, are you working towards those? Are you working on those? Are those currently when it comes to business, when it comes to execution, ideas, as being a self-employed individual, those are the people I predominantly work, self-employed, real estate agents, etc. Knowing your strengths and niching down and matching and being alignment is a much better route than trying to compensate, be the person who does absolutely everything and gets everything done, versus being very specific and having a better understanding of what it is that the value that you are providing to people, how you're going to show up with that, and how you're going to actually get that done. So what are your strengths? Are you good in person? I prefer to be in person with people more often than not. If I could give a talk and be in front of you physically, I'm a lot more confident in trying to build a relationship with you, possibly afterwards, maybe learn something from each other. But if I can make eye contact with you and I can be in front of you and I can shake your hand, I tend to be better with that versus someone more tech. Maybe you're tech savvy and you understand systems and you can put some type of systems in place for your business that can help with scalability. It's generally a less fulfilling experience when I lock someone on online than I would say in person. However, I also am not an idiot and understand that if I want a bigger impact and I wanted to continue to grow my business and scale properly, wow, the goal is to make more money and work less, right? And do more free options like this for people, because I do charge people for my coaching to help them make the transformation, because it works. It's the only way I can get people to sit down and dive into this 100% versus something that's free. People tend not to go in. Whether you're maybe still laying in bed, maybe someone's sleeping, maybe they haven't been wanting to do this, or they're too scared to go over their strengths and kind of see where those lie. So ask yourself, where are your strengths? Are you maximizing them? Are there any strengths that you're really good at that you're just simply not taking advantage of? This could be you're a very athletic person, you know a lot about exercising, but you work an office job versus being a personal trainer. Hosting classes would make you more happy. Or maybe even you would want to get in the coaching space. You love listening to people. You want to help people through with their problems and that kind of stuff. That's what we kind of do over here. Really, and to focus, to bring it all back around, if you need improvement on your focus, you need improvement on your energy to actually show up and do the shit that you told me you were going to do yesterday and the day before and the day before that, but you're still not doing it. There's a reason. Or maybe there's just a planning error. Maybe something strategically we can put in place. Maybe some of these exercises can be the one that gives us enough clarity and awareness to actually get done what it is we want to get done. Show up how we want to show up. Live in alignment with our values. Wow. Checked our vitals today. I think checking these vitals can be just as vital to making sure we're on the path, we're enjoying it, we're enjoying life. Don't be scared to bring a little joy and a little smile to your Tuesday today. If that's the one thing you do, you ask one dude, how the hell are you doing? Are you having a good Tuesday? You give him a little smile, bring some nice energy. People love that shit, dude. You can listen for just a couple seconds. My God, think about if you couldn't hear. Like, just cut your hearing off. Is that, would you prefer that? Hear people joking in the office. Oh, yeah, when Mike starts talking, I wish I would just go deaf. Really? Man. And then they got an attitude or they're an asshole. It's like, is that really how you want to show up? You can listen to a war story. My God, you have ears. You can listen. You can go, once you get on, or go do something else. Or maybe you just need to surround yourself with different people who are saying things that you do want to hear, that you're more in alignment with, maybe around a little too much negativity, and you got to go join a group of people who do something fun, exciting, different, etc. Well, we're past the 5:30 mark. We're on the show. We checked our vitals today. If you know someone, a self-employed individual who needs more clarity and awareness to improve focus, their ability to pay attention on their business, pay attention with their family after they're getting done with work, and they need the energy to help support that, I have a program that can help dramatically improve those two things, or I'll give you your money back. So ask yourself, what's the risk of being more focused, of being more specific with what it is I want out of life, and making sure that I show up with the right amount of energy to inspire, to give impact, to be adventurous towards life's most incredible opportunities, moments, and people, and there's a lot of good stuff. So depends if we want it or not. Some will, some won't. If you're still laying in bed, if you're still sleeping, rolling in past 5:30, let's get it going. Let's make it a good Tuesday. I got to bounce. Got to get back to work myself. But as always, I will see you guys tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, April 20th, for another 5 a.m. show. We're going to go ahead and do a different coaching exercise and keep chipping away at this thing. Thank you all so much. See you tomorrow. I'm bouncing. Until next time.